Okay, what's going on, guys? Digging through my rock pile here, and I think I'm going to use a piece of obsidian to flint knap and make an arrowhead for an arrow. That's a nice piece for an arrowhead. And I've got some 4-shaft material here ready. This is these two are maple, these green ones. They're not quite ready yet, but this one's a hickory piece I got out of Tennessee, and it's been stripped to the bark, and I've actually started working it down on this end. And then I've got my river cane, and basically I'm just getting ready for this year's deer season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flint knap an arrowhead out. This isn't a flint knapping video. Obviously, this is going to be a video how to make a river cane arrow with, the complete primitive way. So I'm just going to go from point A to point Z without going crazy in depth on how to flint knap. Obviously, you need some antlers. I like to use a piece of copper in the end of a stick. Some more antler. Here's a moose billet that I use. Here's a sandstone. But if you can find a piece, these bigger tools aren't really necessary for something small like this. It's basically going to go directly into flint knapping. If I was going to work down one of my bigger pieces, I don't have a lot of real big stuff of obsidian, but here's some Florida chert. If I was going to work down a piece of this chert, for instance, you would want to just for demonstrational purposes, but you would want to hit it there, with the big stuff and get a flake off of it, and, start working down into smaller pieces. That's called spalling. And then once you get it down into a piece like this, then you can make an arrowhead out of it. But I'll get back with you guys when I've got an arrowhead pretty much finished. Okay. Let's see if I can get this sucker to focus here. All right, well, here's a piece of rainbow obsidian that I ended up pulling out of there. It was a small slab that I had, and it was quicker to make an arrow out of it. This is a hunting arrow, so I do not care about that little bit of cut there. Deer season's coming up here in Wisconsin really fast, and I just need to get out there and hunt. But you can see it's the rainbow. It's got the lines through it. Very beautiful stuff. Anyway, so there's the head that I ended up with. And I just got to basically, let me get it in the sunlight here, maybe you can see it better. I just got to get it on an arrow now. I've got it notched very crudely, but notched nonetheless. I like to do this little, you see the thing I did at the bottom of the arrow head right there? That part. I like to do that because then it just kind of seats down into the arrow shaft better. The 4-shaft will probably come to where my thumb is. And this will be the business end of it. About that much of it, will be on the tip of the arrow. Okay, so there's my arrowhead. Here's my very small amount of pine pitch glue that I have left. I'm going to probably have to end up making more, but not for this arrow. Here's the way I'm going to straighten my arrows with a Wagner heat gun. You can obviously do the same thing with a fire. So what I'm doing now is just letting this heat gun warm up, get nice and hot over the top of it, because I'm going to heat, bend, and straighten the river cane. Okay, I've got my river cane laid out on the ground, and I'll tell you why. Because I picked this in Tennessee on the way up to Wisconsin, and it was green, and I need to find a couple of shafts and get them separated from the bunch that I'm A, going to use, and B, that are seasoned. They're looking like they're pretty much all pretty seasoned. It's only been about a month, so and obviously you cut them way longer than you need them, and you leave them longer so that when you're straightening them, you got area to put your hands on without getting burnt. So let's go through these and get the right size, and I'll be back with you. Okay, well, I've got my river cane picked out. And I just want to show you something. When you look down this stuff, you wouldn't believe that I can make an arrow out of that. I know it's blurry, but my camera just is not focusing today, but hang on. There we go. If you look down this, I mean, it's pretty bent. But you'd be amazed at what heat bending can do. But just so you know, you really would rather get stuff that looks about like that, even straighter than that. It's just, you know, you're going to work yourself to death straightening something out like that. Also, long, gradual bends are much better than these tight wiggles. You know, if you got something that's a long, easy, you know, gentle bend, it's going to be a lot easier to straighten. Anyway, I'm going to get this heat gun on again, start straightening some of this stuff out, and I'll be back with you. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've straightened out that end of it, and I'm still working on this end, which you can see is still wobbly. So bear with me. Okay, so I've straightened out about halfway down this guy. You saw it before. It was horrible. So I'm just doing a preliminary straightening. I still got to do some straightening right. Oh, my 3-year-old's out here. I still got to do some straightening on this one. But let me deal with my kid real quick, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right, so.
A spider.
It's okay, baby. Don't worry about the spider. That's a big one. Alright, so I'm going to continue recording here now that I got the camera lady here. And all you do is you just run some heat on the area that you're trying to bend. This has got a loop right here. I'm trying to straighten it out, so you just heat it. And then you just kind of bend it straight and hold it until it cools. It cools real quick. And once river cane's hot, it's damn near like plastic. I mean, it just bends immediately. And typically I bend the side that's compressing on itself. So if the bend is like this, I heat the side down here. That way I can bend it flat. And what I'm doing right now is just preliminary bending. Once I work the cane down, work all these nodes down and sand it and stuff like that, I'm going to have to rebend it anyways. So bear with me here and I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and this is going to be a several part series on how to make a river cane arrow. And so look for the part 2. But basically what I'm going to do next in the part 2 is I'm going to start sanding these nodes down and figuring out exactly where in this arrow, or where in this piece of river cane I want to make my arrow. Alright, so we'll see you then.